Hello everyone, welcome back to Himabindu Angal Kurti's channel. In today's video, I will show you how I made this beautiful lampshade out of a very simple and white lampshade. So without any further delay, let's get started to see how I made this one with a no cost. Actually, it's no cost. So I took this new lampshade which I have in my house sitting from years. So I was thinking to just do something with this one, and so I literally took out everything that I can from the lampshade, and this is the color of the light that I am going to get. So I don't want it to dim it even lighter, so I tried to make it very simple and keep it nice and beautiful. For this project, I simply started using this natural jute twine that I have in my stack already, and I measured my lampshade length with this jute twine, and I made 100, or maybe I should say even more, because this is quite a big of a project. So yeah, I used 2 more inches extra on both sides so that it will be easy for me to glue. However, I'm still wasn't sure what was the easy way, but I thought I would figure it out when I go along this process. So I simply for now was making like a few strands, and I am cutting the edges so that it will be separate strands and it will be easy for me to glue. So here I am, I added a generous amount of glue to the lampshade and taking a few strands that I cut from my jute twine and adding them slowly. I have to tell you that this is a very soothing project, and if you feel like doing a DIY decor piece, I think this is pretty simple to start with, and it will be way easier to work with too. So you don't even need like a bunch of supplies for this. All you need is like a simple jute twine and a piece of yarn. I did different ways to loop this jute twine along my lampshade, but I felt this is the easiest, and also I wanted more light from my lamp, so I did it this way. And if you do prefer to do the other way, which I will show you in the middle of this video how I made it. And also here I don't want it to overlap these jute strands, so I am slowly doing this process for my first section. Also, just to mention that I waited until the glue cooled down because I don't want the glue to come off while I'm doing this process. So if you want, you can use like clips or something to hold the jute twines in place. So I got this first section worked out, and it is so nice. I simply love it how it turned out, and I started continuing the next sections. I ran into a small problem here with my lampshade that I'm using, because my lampshade has 2 different circles, up at the top and down at the bottom. So for covering it evenly, what I did is I took a bunch of strands and I added it up at the top, so you can see that there is a very slight gaps in the bottom section compared to the top. And I totally am fine with it because I simply love how it turned out, and I wanted the white color to be popping out when it comes to the wider section. So it's totally fine. It worked out for me. But if you want to cover everything, what you can do is you can actually use too much thick of these strands so that it will cover entirely, or once you work on it continuously, you can come back and add extra strands where you wanted the white shade to be covered. If you notice here that I completely covered the lampshade with my jute twine for a little bit of a section, which I tried this way because I thought it would be easier, but I found 2 disadvantages with it. One is that it's gonna give me very less visibility, and the second one is it will cost me a lot of jute twine, which I don't want to waste at this point because I wanted this yarn to be sufficient for all this big lampshade that I have. And here's the second process that I used. I used a lot of clips in here to secure the jute twine and let the glue cool down so that I can continue working on this process. But it is quite a bit of an overwhelming process because I have to add the glue and then add the strands and then add it down at the bottom by securing it. So I just thought like it's a little bit of overwhelming process, so I came to do another process which made this project a lot easier. I wish I know this process even earlier so that this project would have been a lot easier and quicker. So what I did this time is I added a whole bunch of jute twines on one side while the glue is getting cooled down. I added it on the other side so that it went a lot easier, like I was mentioning before. Though I worked on this project a little longer compared to my other DIYs, I simply love how this project turned out because this is a lot nicer on the end, and I simply fell in love with this project. And if you want to buy this lampshade on any other website, this is so expensive that it is about like $250. Here I am, I'm almost done with this project, and at the end of this project what I did is I simply cut any of the excess jute that is inside, and also I fixed any of the leftover spots that I haven't covered before, or to look it nice and even. This is how it looked, and you see that this looks so nice and so perfect for me. What I did to make it even prettier, and just like the picture, I added the tassels down at the bottom here. For that I used the tassel technique, which I showed it to you in my previous video, how to make these tassels, and I will link it down below for you in case if you missed it. I tried 2 different tassels and I used 10 strands for each tassel here. So I actually like the first one better, so I did around 55 of these, and I simply started gluing these to the lampshade. I want these yarn tassels to look very close to each other, so what I did is I simply tied all these just to the perfect measurement, and also I cut any of the extra yarn that is hanging and that is not in perfect shape. When I'm all done with these tassels, I slowly started adding these with the hot glue, and make sure that there are no gaps between 2 tassels so that it looks very nice, and you will see how it turned out after I add all these tassels. Because these yarn tassels are so lightweight, I simply added the glue and let it sit there. I did not even wait for the glue to cool down, as it is not required. I had so much fun adding all these tassels because I don't even have to wait, and it simply took me less than 10 minutes to add all these tassels. I wasn't sure how many tassels I need for this lampshade, so I made 22 in my first batch and I did the rest in my second batch. Once I'm all done adding the tassels, I removed any excess glue that I can see, and also I took the straightener and I put it at 410 degrees and I slowly straightened all the tassels. Once I'm all done straightening out, I did a quick cut so that these tassels look nice and even. And here is my perfectly made lampshade. I simply love how it turned out, and I used nothing for this project other than this jute twine that I have in my stack and this yarn that I already have. So I spent $0 for this project, and yet here it is, so perfect. For more DIY and fun content, don't forget to subscribe this channel and also hit that bell icon to get notifications whenever I post a new video.